21:9 versus 32:9 on the Samsung Odyssey ultrawide gaming monitors. Hi friends and welcome to Victor's Reality. Ultrawide to super ultrawide gaming never looked so good. Today we have the Samsung Odyssey G8 OLED 34-inch 21:9 gaming monitor, which contains a QDOLED version 1 panel, versus QDOLED 2023 or version 2 on the Samsung Odyssey OLED G9 in a 32:9 format. What I do want to showcase in today's video is that ultrawide and super ultrawide may bring new life and make you see your games in a different light with a wider field of view like never before. Now we're not going to specifically get into brightness tests for this video, but I will say we are running in SDR mode with both monitors with peak brightness off. That's the only way to make this a fair test, because the G8 OLED's new software update 1504 has actually disabled peak brightness in SDR mode, while the G9 OLED still has the option to keep it enabled, especially on high, which makes a drastic difference. And I will be showing you that in another video to show you that peak high difference in SDR mode. It really is night and day, at least for OLED technology. So to compare these two monitors, to be more fair, I needed to disable the peak brightness on the G9, as that's how I have it here and that's the only option we have in SDR mode on the G8 OLED. But with the brightness, I am testing both monitors with an SM208 screen luminance meter. This is an actual display light meter, and what I can say is in full screen on both monitors in both formats, the OLED G9 is about 20 to 30 nits brighter in every single scene. Now you can easily see that in this video. But one thing that's really standing out is that in 32:9, usually on these ultra-wide formats, the bigger you go, the less bright it gets. So this QDOLED version 2 on the G9 really is holding its own and is brighter with the peak mode off versus the G8. So yes friends, QDOLED 2023 or version 2, when it's with the same settings, is about 20 to 30 nits brighter than version 1. And there's more screen real estate being used here in this video. So that's interesting and good to know. Version 2 is better and will be brighter. And remember, with that 2x durability, burn-in soon will be a thing of the past. So hit that like button so more people can see it to help to make that awesome buying decision. And consider subscribing if you're interested in this new QDOLED panel, because we will deep dive into this new technology and we'll discover what this new V2 is really all about. Now this is my first time using a 32:9 monitor, as the format has existed on previous technologies. And even though you're seeing here in this video where the field of view of the G9 is really back, remember, you can always adjust the field of view, so you can actually zoom in a little bit more, so you get less of that fisheye effect. Now, I'm not saying fisheye doesn't exist. Many games do not naturally support this, and you will get that fisheye. And if it doesn't support 32:9, you can always go to 21:9. But we're sticking to these three games to help you make that awesome buying decision. As long as we can adjust that FOV, we should be good to go and we shouldn't have any issues with that fisheye. Look how awesome Days Gone looks. You get so much width, it's a whole new level of immersion. Look at this scene right here. The motorcycle looks awesome on top, but on the bottom, you can actually see more of the road. Sometimes when I was looking at this video, I thought the top was 16:9. It's crazy. The width of 16:9 is even less than the top screen. That's 21:9. So 32:9 really makes 21:9 look a little off. But until you see this in person, friends, you really appreciate that extra screen space. Now, it's not for everyone, for sure, as I would prefer the G9 OLED to have a little bit more vertical screen space, and that's what the Neo G9 is going to provide. It's like 232 Neo G8s put together to make that colossal 57-inch super ultra-wide monitor. But here we're at 49 inches, two 27s stuck together. And when I'm seeing this video, my eyes just directly go down. It goes to the OLED G9. Because you get so much more information, the OLED G9 is about 20 to 30 nits brighter than the G8 OLED on the same scenes, even though being wider. I do have the settings here on 50 brightness, max for both screens. I really wouldn't call this a gimmick with that super ultra wide. It really does give you that level of immersion that a regular ultra wide can't give you. But still, the 21:9 format is better than a 16:9, at least for the PC. Come on guys, you can't tell me this doesn't look cool. Look at that motorcycle and look at that field of view. That's awesome. And hopefully in the near future, to have more versatility with these ultra-wide monitors, I really do hope that the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox really do support ultra-wide formats. Look at this rain with all this fog. Look how awesome the OLED G9 looks. It's crazy guys, I mean you gotta experience it like I'm providing here with these two side by side. When I see this, the OLED G9 looks better and better. And just on a personal note, I don't know if it's the pixel arrangement. Remember, I have both of these on the same settings. The OLED G9 to me looks sharper. In every single thing that I've done in 16:9, 21:9, SDR content and HDR content. Even with this 32:9 format, it really does look sharper. A tad bit, not night and day, but I can see it. I really don't know what it is. Coming up, you're going to see the characters freeze frame a bit. The field of view is more back on the OLED G9, but you'll be able to see all that new real estate that a 32:9 provides. I'm sure there's a lot of games that naturally support this format. Here on the OLED G9, you can see the motorcycle on the left. Although we are pushed back a little bit, but it's really cool to see it in frame. And that's a cool thing, with the FOV slider you can change it to your liking. I would say zooming in a little bit more would give you a little bit more clarity and make it a tad bit easier on your eyes. Here with God of War, and because there's a lot of white and fog in this scene, from brightness to color saturation to that pixel arrangement and to that wavelength, things are changing, and they're changing for the better. But look at that field of view with Kratos, that is crazy. There is just so much stuff going on. It does really make you appreciate the game a little bit more. I mean, look at this tree trunk. It looks so huge on the G9 OLED. It makes the game a bit more fun because I'm experiencing it in a different light. Now this is a perfect scene to explain to you that 20 to 30 nit difference. I would even say a little bit more than 30 nits is what we're seeing here in this specific scene because there's a lot of black going on. So this is a highlight, but you can see that brightness increase on the G9. I would say 20 to 30 nits on average with peak off, but in this specific scene, I would say a tad bit more than 30 nits. So if you have the G8 OLED, try not to update, friends, to the newest firmware because it really limits the panel's power. Things would look a little bit different if I had both on peak high, which again, I will show you that in another video. But OLED is king with these highlights, and from sparks to the fire, everything is looking awesome. Now in my time of recording, I have not seen any kind of ABL on either monitor. Again, this is with peak off, so maybe Samsung did that on purpose, so you don't see that much ABL kick in. But even with peak off, everything is bright enough. It looks amazing. And I'm just really happy to see the G9 OLED maintain this level of brightness, even with its full 32:9 ratio. And it's even brighter than the G8 OLED, with peak off, remember. Now if I would have enabled peak on, at least on the G9 OLED, it would be super bright. I'm talking about awesome, impactful brightness, even with the whole screen lit up. In all these three games, it really does look amazing. Now this is when things get a little bit tricky. We have here Doom Eternal on these both amazing monitors, but there's just no way I can get a 21:9 and 32:9 at the same time, in the same frame. Remember, we're showing the 32:9 aspect ratio and that difference. How much more real estate, and how different it looks. Because I'm sure, once you hear 32:9, the first thing you think in your mind is, man, that's too wide. I would never use that. It's ridiculous. Trust me, it is really cool. You really do have to experience it before you can say anything. Now again, the field of view can be changed, so you can zoom in a little bit to get less of that fisheye. Doom Eternal is one of those games that I don't really see that fisheye, that I don't really see that warping on the sides. I mean, if you're picky to it, this is a perfect video to see if you can handle it. The more I use these panels, the more I'm appreciating that ultra-wide format. So what do you guys think? Is that 32:9 a little bit too wide for you? Do you see that tad bit improvement in brightness comparing both of them, even at full frame on the OLED G9? Remember, both monitors are at full screen. I was expecting the OLED G9 to be a little bit dimmer. It's not, and actually it's about 20 to 30 nits brighter, at the same level as the G8, with both monitors here being on peak off. So I just wanted to show you that ultra-wide versus super ultra-wide difference. The 21:9 Samsung Odyssey G8 OLED versus Samsung Odyssey OLED G9. Friends, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did find it helpful, please hit that like button so more people can see it to help them make that awesome buying decision, to know what's out there, to see if they can really handle that 32:9 format. Consider subscribing if you want more information on these two amazing monitors. OLED version 2 is here, and it's better than ever, but the V1 can still hold its own weight. I appreciate your time, friends. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys next time.